aside from the fact that there was political disturbance and turmoil at the time, brought about not only material deprivation, but brought as well, imperceptibly, many psychic, emotional, psychological damage to the country, especially to the Filipino youth, who had nothing positive to look forward to. And it was the genius of the late Chairman George T. to instill and to uplift the damaged morale of the Filipino youth through art.
So he wanted to do something to mobilize the energies of our young people. So the predecessor of the Metrobank Art and Design Excellence was really conceptualized by him. He was the one who started it in 1984, the Young Painters Annual, the Made Painting Competition in 1984.
The paintings generated by Made are able to be a reflection of the tensions, the conflicts, the joys, the harmonies, the sorrows even, the despair, and the celebration of the Filipino psyche.
In the 1980s, you see a lot of our entries going into social realism.
The art scene then was so different. There were only few people going to our art exhibits. My process is traditional. I do a lot of studies before I work on a big canvas. I won second prize in the oil category in 1988. At that time, I was very active politically. That piece is commentary on leaders who are abusive to its own people. It helps to be introduced in the galleries during the 90s as an award-winning artist. And it gives you the opportunity to have a show in the mainstream galleries.
Down to the 90s, for example, where even the issues of the 80s continued to be pursued, there were certain aspects of, shall we say, existentialism.
In 1995, when I came in, I reviewed what has happened since 1984, and I said, maybe we can consult the young artists. So we put up the Young Painters Annual.
Yung art scene kasi noon, siguro 5 times smaller than the art scene now. Palagay mo ng from 8 to 12 yung number of galleries. Tapos walang internet, walang cable, walang cellphone. Nagsisimula siya sa idea, tapos gagawa ko ng drawings. Sa ngayon, gumagamit na rin ng computers para dun sa mga metal frames. Kasi maraming bahagi yung trabaho. After that, susubukan siya sa loob kasi isa-sculpt pa siya. So maraming trial and error sa gawang ito. Yung biyahe na yun, papuntang Antipolo, doon ko nakita yung image na yun, parang fish eye. Tapos naisip ko, magandang painting to. Ito yung sasalik sa Metrobank. Last trip, gabi na kasi noon. Pag Metrobank winner ka, para kang Miss Universe. May corona ka ng isang taon.
Towards the turn of the century, you can see the manner by which the young Filipino artists are looking outside their own country and being influenced by other developments, idioms being done in the art centers of the world.
Then we also saw over the years the introduction of technology, and so we decided to get involved into architecture and interior design.
Winning the Made competition back then was very crucial and helpful in allowing me to be exposed to other platforms. You know, we just need to do all these different things to give more depth into our social ecosystem, to contribute to different ways of responding to the world. I usually go out to where the people go, and that's where I find the most interesting things. I find pleasure in kind of transforming these familiar objects into something unfamiliar, and have the people who see them and observe them realize this, from something strange, and upon close inspection, it's something very common, apparently. The piece that I made for the MADE competition back in 2005 was called Cradle. It was a sawdust sculpture that was built over a wireframe, and it's a technique that our mentor back in Philippine High School for the Arts, Mr. Roberto Fileo, as a way to create cost-efficient sculptural work. Positive creative production is just a very human condition, which everyone needs to at least try maybe once in their lives.
Nagsistart pala mag-boom yung art. So, tingin ko maswerte kaming lahat kasi nandun kami sa tamang oras, tamang panahon. Nag-boom yung career namin lahat, pati yung mga friends ko. Lalo na ngayon kasi ngayon mas marami ng gallery, mas marami ng collectors, kumbaga mas marami ng lugar kung saan ka pwede mag-show. Nag-o-observe ako madalas kung ano nangyayari sa akin or sa paligid ko. Lalo na kapag nagka-cram ako, hindi ako makatulog. Tapos parang, bigla na pumapasok yung idea. Pero kapag sobrang ang dami ko naisip, lahat siya sinusulat ko kasi hindi talaga ako lagi inspired. So at least kapag wala akong maisip, tumitingin lang ako dun sa mga sketches ko or dun sa drawing ko or kung ano nakasulat sa phone ko. Yung title niya patungo sa watercolor on paper. So yung ginawa ko, ulo siya ng eroplano, tapos katawan lang siya ng parang stick lang. Tapos nilagyan ko lang siya ng blue color kasi worker. Kasi ako yung nagtutok para sa Metrobank. Yung mga tao na nakikilala kong bago, yung mga bata, yung mga estudyante. Nakakatuwa kasi nakaka-inspire ka ng iba.
Through the work that we do in the foundation, our program MADE, we were able to utilize art for advocacy work. Art is a very powerful tool. It is not simply a reflection of our national soul, but it has the ability to ignite social change and cultivate ideas.
Art describes identity of a developing or developed nation. It expresses how an artist feels and think at that particular moment. And art also describes who we are and where we're going.
I had very equipped professors in art high school that made sure that we learned the value of art as a tool for change, something that evolves depending on the issues and concerns of the community.
I'm not comfortable that it's positioned only to the privileged few. A lot of people should engage with the work, pero sa lipunan natin, parang kulang pa siguro yung pagkalat sa kanya.
We have always looked at MADE as a competition. Over time, there is a responsibility to the young artists as a whole. So we decided to programatize our intervention for young people. And we introduced the IDEA framework: inspiration, development of skills, exposure, and application. We wanted in the long term to develop our young people, so we have institutionalized incentives, program improvements every year. Something that we'd like to continue by bringing them to art spaces, not only the institutional ones like museums, but also in malls where people congregate. And that should be part of our advocacy, bringing art closer to the people.
Young artists needs to focus on their art without any distraction. So I suggest MADE to create an artist residency program to provide the artist studio space and allowance for art materials and living expenses.
I'd like to think that art and artists are catalysts of society. I view our artists as producing new realities, new narratives, new ways of looking at things. And that is the history of MADE.
Arts management is a combination of business and art in that we are taught managerial skills for creative industries. I majored in animation before I shifted to arts management. And although I really loved anime and cartoons, I also grew up watching musicals, plays, and enjoyed going to museums when I had the chance. When I learned about the history of animation and production, I started to develop an interest in the management side of the animation industry. So I did a little research on STA's programs and knew that arts management was what I wanted. I'm interested in talent and production management for music, TV, and film, but my ultimate dream is to eventually become a producer for Filipino animated feature-length films. The first project I worked on was a dance thesis called Unboxed, where I was assistant production manager, and it was the first time I felt like I could apply what I learned in class. I have also put together an arts management student organization called Benilde Arts Management, or BEAM. I feel like my work-life balance is a constant trial and error process, but that's what real life is like. I've done internship work for Bella's Artist Projects, the Nonsuch, and Art Fair Philippines. In Benilde, I mostly work on theater productions, handling marketing and sales. I also volunteer for MCAD and Create Philippines. I believe our learning experience here in Benilde contributes to honing our skills, talent, and creativity, and we are given the opportunity to apply arts management theories in real life.
Linangan Art Residency is an alternative art school aimed at equipping promising young artists to be active agents in developing and defining Philippine art and culture through the Amuyang Mentorship Program and the Punan Artist Residency. Want to be a part of this? Support our program. Send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, or email linanganartresidency@gmail.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to MAID's first online event for the year. Established in 1984 by Dr. George T. Xiaoqian, the Metrobank Art and Design Excellence serves as a platform to recognize the excellence of young Filipino artists through the MAID Painting and Sculpture competition. MAID is also dedicated to contributing to the development of Philippine art and design through education. As we welcome another year in the new normal, we open with the theme Emerge, Step into Your Boundless Future. It is our call to action for artists to rise and take back their power. The pandemic has been very challenging for all of us, and it has prevented artists from realizing their full potential. We invite you to step out of the shadows and into a brand new day. Together, let us build a creative future. No matter what others say about the arts, we at MAID believe that the future of Philippine art is bright, and it is in your hands. Today, we will be debunking the misconceptions that our society has about art. These stereotypes have scared many young people from pursuing a career as artists, and it makes us ask, wala nga bang future sa arts? Join our conversation online and get a chance to win MAID exclusive merchandise. We've also prepared a few things that we hope can inspire you to be the artist that you want to be. First of which is the MAID Painting and Sculpture Recognition Programs. For 38 years now, MAID has recognized more than 400 artists, a majority of whom are now influential names in the industry. This year, we resume the search for talented young artists with the potential to become the next contemporary art master. For those interested to join the painting competition, please watch this next video.
Welcome to the annual nationwide Visual Arts and Design program of the Metrobank Foundation. The Metrobank Art and Design Excellence. MAID. Recognizing outstanding visual narratives of Filipino artists since 1984. Open to Filipino painters, 18 to 35 years old. No solo exhibition yet. MAID accepts only one entry in one category: oil or acrylic on canvas, or water media on paper. Not eligible. Former awardees of the Young Painters Annual or MAID Painting Recognition Program, chairperson and members of the current Board of Judges, and immediate family members. To submit the artwork, follow these guidelines. Size: between 18 by 24 and 36 by 48 inches. Weight: maximum of 17 kilos with frame. Frame: artwork to be framed with hanging provisions. Frame and matting, maximum 5 inches. Don't glue canvas on wood. Originality: only original work accepted. Copies of existing works are disqualified. Credits: links and photos related to art must be submitted. Actual entry: please do not sign the actual artwork and ensure it has not been entered in any competition. There will be 2 grand awardees who will receive the following prizes: Cash Incentive, Artistic Development Fund, Made Network of Winners, Made Now Membership, Eligibility for a grant for first solo exhibit, press releases and media visits nationwide, featured in Made and Metrobank Foundation collaterals, newsletters, and social media channels. Special Citation. Special citation is a recognition granted to selected works that is subject to the discretion of the judging body. Special citation winners, if any, will receive the following prizes: Cash Incentive, Made Network of Winners, Made Now Membership, Eligibility for grant for first solo exhibit, press releases and media visits nationwide, featured in Made and Metrobank Foundation collaterals, newsletters, and social media channels. 10 national finalists will be selected and will receive the following prizes: Cash Incentive, Plaque of Recognition, featured in Made and Metrobank Foundation collaterals, newsletters, and social media channels. Join now!
And there you have it. If you have other questions about how to join the painting competition, please send us a message here on Facebook or visit themadeartdepot.ph. Let's move on to the sculpture competition. The sculpture competition is open to Filipino citizens aged 18 years old by March 31 and 50 years old by September 22. Beginners and mid-level artists are welcome to join. However, former awardees of the competition, employees of Metrobank and its affiliates are not qualified to join. Entrants must keep their identity and their entries confidential throughout the duration of the competition. Entrants may submit one freestanding sculpture only. The entry must be an original work wholly conceptualized by the artist. The entry must not be submitted to other local or international competitions, nor included in selling or non-selling exhibitions prior to and during the competition. Entrants may use any sculptural material except organic or ephemeral materials. The entry must be a minimum of 1 foot in height, 1 foot in width, and 1 foot in length, and a maximum of 2 feet in height, 2 feet in width, and 2 feet in length. The entry should not weigh more than 40 kilos, including its base. For sculpture, we have one grand awardee who will be chosen to receive a cash prize of 500,000 pesos, Metrobank Foundation's institutional trophy, membership to Made Awardees Alumni Group, the Made Network of Winners, nationwide media features, and opportunities for further artistic development. 2 special citation awardees will also be chosen to receive a cash prize of 100,000 pesos each. For the complete guidelines to the competition, please again visit themadeartdepot.ph. And when you're ready to submit your entry, go to our microsite and click Submit Your Entry at the top of the page. Make sure to choose the correct entry form for your category. Fill out the form and make sure to submit the requirements to hello@madeartdepot.ph. For the complete list of requirements as well as how to label your files, please visit the guidelines on our microsite or click the link on top of our comment section here on Facebook. And don't forget that the deadline of entries, mark your calendars, on March 31. Aside from the competition, we also host an exhibition every September to showcase the works of this year's awardees. This is our way of helping launch the careers of young artists and make them realize that there is a vibrant future for them in the arts. The Made collection has also traveled all over the Philippines pre-pandemic to inspire creatives to pick up their tools and work on their own masterpiece. But thanks to technology this year, we are able to continue this tradition even during a pandemic. In fact, we can even exhibit more works for you, which you can access anytime and the comfort and safety of your own homes. This year, we are proud to present to you Thriving in the Midst, Leading the Ascent, a virtual exhibition of selected Made winning artworks over the past 3 decades, curated by Mr. Alain Zedrick Camiling.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope we all landed well in 2022, staying safe and healthy. I'd like to begin this short tour by thanking Metrobank Art and Design Excellence team for having me as curator of the online exhibition component in line with Art Made Public 2022. It's an honor and pleasure to work with everyone and share panels this afternoon with esteemed colleagues like Rica Estrada, OIC of the Visual Arts and Museum Division of the Cultural Center of the Philippines, and Alee Garibay, Director of Linangan Art Residency shortly. And also Louis Lane Calicdan, the Head for Art and Design Unit at the Metrobank Foundation, as our moderator. The title of this exhibition is Thriving in the Midst, Leading the Ascent. It's partially lifted from then Metrobank Foundation Chairman George SKT's message for the 2000 National Painting Competition Catalog of the Metrobank Foundation, where he shared about art being alive and thriving in our midst and having a significant role in the evolution of our social and cultural character. It's also prudent to mention that the National Painting Competition was introduced in 1984 to engage the youth in a positive endeavor amid the political and economic chaos that the Philippines was in at that time. This competition perhaps was the beginning of all these. In the recent article I wrote, I actually threw in a question by the end of the review dedicated to all artists, practitioners, and professionals across the visual arts ecosystem. The line goes, why are we doing this and who are we doing it for? I find this a very crucial question that we must keep in mind in our everyday as artistic and creative practitioners. Simply put, bakit natin ito ginagawa at para kanino ito? I wanted to begin with this question because nagsisimula ito sa ating lahat, which then translates and creates a ripple effect on what we do. What drives us in this complicated and vast world, despite the struggle we encounter in the everyday? For the exhibition, the materiality of these struggles and circumstances remain vivid and diverse, considering we all express, perhaps respond, and experience many things on a day-to-day basis. These eventually trigger us to reappraise or reevaluate possibilities and decisions on and for ourselves across different contexts connected to our everyday. I reflect, how does one thrive in the midst and lead their ascent? Paano tayo nakakaraos at bumabangon? In this exhibition, the works echo effectual and optimistic articulations and assessments. These are interrelated with various social, cultural, and personal factors, among many others, despite many things. These works are also indicative of the artist's tenacity, or I must say, their desire for growth, along with the surmounting impediments across the artistic and creative practice and process. The works can also be a testament of how these artists carved their way through the art scene as alumni of the Metrobank Art and Design Excellence through the years. The show posits as the first of its kind exhibition of the selected winning works from the painting and sculpture recognition programs of the foundation from 1984 to 2021, which signifies its unwavering commitment to supporting the visual arts sector through the years in various projects, initiatives, and activities. I echo humanistic psychologist Dr. Carl Rogers when he argues that our primal motive as individuals is to actually fulfill one's potential and achieve the highest level of our human beingness or ourselves. in his study on self-actualization. This is rooted from a recognition that each person strives to be creative and fully functioning, perhaps having a constant desire to reach our potentials. This act of striving is actually characterized by an actualizing tendency, something that pushes us or someone towards growth, primarily because of its nature as ongoing and dynamic, motivational, and innate. On a similar note, I also echo Dr. Paul Stoltz. He's a leading scholar in grit, resilience, and adversity quotient when he explicates that fulfillment is achieved by relentless dedication to the ascent, a process or progressing through one's lifelong mission. Through these lenses, the 2022 Metrobank Art and Design Excellence theme, Emerge Art in Your Own Terms, is dissected into three things in relation to first, one's viscerality. This is something inward, something instinctive. What actually matters to you? Why? What are things deep-rooted in our beings? Second, as I've mentioned, self-actualization, something that is on the top of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Us having a sense of our full potentials, self-cultivation through varied involvements and experiences in the everyday. Where do we actually go from each fault and limitation? Third, a spirited journey. I ask, how do we respond to dynamic situations and complexities of the everyday, geared towards growth and self-development as creative and artistic practitioners? The exhibition is an empowering action to rise, perhaps leading the ascent. It's a purposive invitation to define and create through creative and artistic endeavors, emerging towards the new, and most of all, something that echoes our spirited challenge in the everyday, to innovate and revamp, emerging from the old, thriving in the midst. Some of the artists who have been part of MAID's recognition programs in this exhibition have been exceptional in their own way and actively participating in the arts ecosystem in both local and international contexts, like Anton Del Castillo, Elmer Borlongan, Alfredo Esquillo, Manny Garibay, Roberto Fileo, Toym Imao, Mark Justiniani, Leslie De Chavez, Sam Penaso, among many others. Lastly, in this exhibition, I hope we all be reminded that our journey as creative and artistic practitioners are as dynamic as the everyday. It's not always perfect, but surely it's geared towards something productive, something meaningful, and something that could potentially change and inspire the self, the others, and the world positively. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoy viewing the exhibition and the discussion this afternoon.
Thank you, Alain, for that insightful tour. We invite everyone to visit themaidartdepot.ph to view the full exhibition. Now, let's dive into the conversation that everyone has been waiting for. We've seen all the reactions to today's event, and it sounds as if there's a lot of us who are tired of hearing that we can't be an artist. Or maybe you've been told in one way or another that there is no career in the arts. Perhaps after being discouraged, you're also wondering, may future nga ba sa arts? At kung oo, paano nga ba tayo makakarating lahat doon? So we hope you brought along your skeptical titos and titas with you, because today's kwentuhan just might change their minds. Helping us are three creative industry leaders who are dedicated to encouraging the youth to embrace the arts. First up is Alee Garibay. Alee is a painter, organizer, and writer. As a multi-awarded artist, she has received recognition for her works in oil and watercolor and actively exhibits here and abroad. As an organizer, she has co-designed local art festivals, Paghilom in Cavite, Pagkarahay in Camarines Sur, and Ranyag in Cagayan, and was involved in various art educational initiatives through Artletics Inc. She currently co-runs the Linangan Art Residency in Alfonso, Cavite, which cultivates young artists through a holistic curriculum designed to hone artist leaders in creating art that is definitive of Philippine culture. Our next guest is Rica Estrada. Rica is currently the officer in charge of the Philippine Visual Visual Arts and Museum Division at the Cultural Center of the Philippines. During her early days in arts and culture profession, Rica has worked as a museum education officer, project manager, art collection consultant, and juror for various organizations, museums, art festivals, and competitions. She shared her various experience in the practice as a speaker to several assemblies and conferences. In fact, in 2019, she had the honor to be the only Filipino to receive the travel grant for the CMAM 2019 annual conference at the Museum of Contemporary Art in Australia. Also joining us is our exhibition curator, Alain Zedrick Camiling. Alain is an arts writer and educator who pioneered Bank of the Philippine Islands Art Education Program through the BPI Foundation in 2018. His recent curatorial projects include being the artistic director for the Manila Bang Show, ArtFest International 2021 in Alabang, and deputy curator and art manager of Alimuom Contemporary Exhibition in Baguio City. He taught at the Fine Arts Program of UP Baguio in 2020. He currently serves as the chair of the Arts Management Program at the De La Salle College of St. Benilde, Manila, where he has been teaching since 2017 and has co-authored its BA Arts Management curriculum in 2018. Magandang hapon, Alee, Rica, and Alain. How are you guys?
Magandang hapon.
Magandang hapon.
Happy.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We're all very excited. A lot of people have been waiting for this chikahan to happen. So, wag na natin silang pag-antayin. Let us start the conversation with a little throwback. No? Let me ask you, how did you get in the arts?
Wala eh. Wala akong takas eh. Syempre, siguro, malaking bagay naman na yung father ko is an artist. And then after, actually, nung bata kami, lagi niya kaming pinopropaganda eh. Ayun yung binibida na pag artist kayo, wala kayong boss. Parang kulang na lang sabihin niyo, required kayo maging artist. Siguro, ako yung opposite nung dilemma nung usual na mga siguro gusto maging artist. Sa amin, medyo talagang highly recommend sa maging artist. Yung una, to be honest, sabi ko nga, hindi naman ako mag-artist para baka yun lang in-expect nila na kaya kong gawin, baka may iba naman ang pwedeng gawin. Pero wala hindi ko. Actually, I enrolled art studies sa CAL. So art studies talaga yung kinuha ko. Pero napalipat pa rin ako sa fine arts kasi kailangan ko rin talaga magpinta. Parang hahanapin mo rin kasi mas natural talaga sa akin yun. And yun pa rin yung unang expression. Parang yun yung unang way ko to be myself siguro. Yun yung ano ko. So, yeah, I grew up, I was born into it. So, siguro. And then, nung high school nga, nag-Philippine High School for the Arts din. So, ayun. Yun yung background.
I love it. Hahanapin at babalikan pa rin, no? What I picked up from that little kwento is there is a support system. While yes, you were kind of born into it, but still there is a strong support system that help you go and immerse yourself into this field. Let's hear from Rica. How did you get into the arts?
My story is the opposite of Alee. When I was young, I wanted to become an artist. So I was like thinking I'll go into UP, fine arts. But while I was, trying to look at what I could be, what I could do, I sort of discovered that ang dami ng artists sa Pilipinas. And ang dami magaling. So I was like, maybe I'll be, I'll do more good behind the scenes. Maybe what I found out was missing was the people to help the artists, the people to support them, help them, So that's how I found myself here today.
All right, shout out to the arts managers and arts studies people out there. May future tayo sa arts together with the artists. So, going to our third speaker, Alain, our curator. Shout out to Arts Management Represent. How did you get into this field of arts and art education as well?
Right. Rica and Alee, very inspiring, no? First, I want to raise that I don't come from a family of artists. No, it's not a popular choice in our family. I'm the only one who practices visual arts closely. I have a tito who's based in Angono, but we're very few, no? The closest are, let's say, media practitioners. There are many teachers, many nurses, no? That's not a popular choice. Second, my background is actually I studied to become an art teacher by choice, no? Even though our mom is a teacher, and it's not a popular choice in the family, she's been supportive. I guess my entry point to the ecosystem or to the scene, no, is actually me being a teacher. It started when I was writing about culture, lifestyle, no, and then I got commissioned to work on a project with an embassy. I think some years ago. Yun, so it's actually not a popular or not a usual story. Kasi I don't come from a family of artists talaga. And I select, courses that are not actually popular. For example, I studied art education. No? My batch is just actually comprised of 3 people. Imagine, we graduated as a batch. 3 people lang, no? From the college. Yes.
Lane, kami, we were 4. So, we were 1 more.
4.
Alam ko, konti na kami. 3 lang pala kayo.
3 lang kami. 3 lang.
Actually, din sa art studies na batch namin, 2 lang kami. I mean, yung sa dalawang na art studies na nag-apply ng time. So, yeah.
Nabutan natin na wala pang masyadong pumipili ng arts degrees.
Agree. Art studies represent. I also come from that same academic background. And what's nice about this set of conversations, no, for this afternoon, we all came from different narratives, no, different backgrounds. Merong konti lang tayo in the family, merong we're born into it. And I'm sure a lot of the people who are watching us right now also have their own unique narratives, no? So let's start unpacking this narrative. Simulan na natin yung pangalawang question. So ano ba yung mga stereotypes that you heard from people where you're going up, when you're choosing this road less traveled? I'm sure madami since in the past or even until now. And what was it and how did it affect you at that time?
Sa tingin ko, isang misconception about artists is that bohemian sila or parang happy-go-lucky or mabisyo pa nga, medyo negative nga yung halimbawa, yung lahat ng mga bisyo, yung inom, yosi, tambay na, syempre yung iba, even drugs, ganyan. Pero sa totoo, laging na-emphasize sa amin ni Papa, it's really yung mga artists na disiplinado who stay in the long run. Parang hindi enough yung talent. Yun yung lagi niyang sinasabi sa amin na tumatak. And I see for myself now na hindi enough yung talentado ka. Actually, hindi pa nga siya usapin ko magaling ka mag-drawing, magaling ka mag-paint. You can have all that and still not make it or stay, make you stay dun sa kung art career man yung napili mo. Kung hindi ka disciplined sa pagtatrabaho mo and wala kang commitment, as well as hindi ka professional. Kasi akala nila basta artist, parang rockstar in the sense na padiva, kahit late, kahit kailan niya lang gustong gumawa, yun. Yung mga ganong klaseng, na hindi yun katulad na sa PR nyo, na hindi tayo bound sa time. Oo. Sa tingin ko, yun yung ko, kasi masasabi ko rin sa example pala ni Papa, and also sa nakikita ko rin na sa mga colleagues, very professional sila, and they have a disciplined studio practice. And that they know how to manage their life. On the contrary, dun sa stereotype na parang wala silang sense ng how to handle a business or what.
Yeah, I hope our audience are jotting down their notes. Madami tayong nakuha dun, no? The discipline, the commitment, and the professionalism that comes with being an artist. So let's hear from Alain. Ano ba yung mga stereotypes, both from the art education field or choosing this path that you heard while growing up or until now?
Right. Thank you. Inspiring, Ali. Yung akin siguro yung una, lumaki ako na may impression yung mga tao na being artist or being creative gives you a universal hat. O sige, may party, we need someone to consult on the design or the theme, no? Someone who can write, no? Bigay niya sa kanya. So, medyo may ganong impression na basta malikhain ka, basta artist ka, lahat na ng creative endeavor i-associate sa'yo. And that's actually surprising because when we look into the ecosystem, ang dami-daming trabaho, no? Ang dami-daming ginagawa. Madaming iba't ibang gestures, no? And articulations ng creativity. Ayun, no? So yung universal hat, medyo mabigat siya kasi even as artists and creative practitioners, we actually have strengths and weaknesses, di ba? For example, i-relate ko na dyan yung, magaling ka mag-drawing kasi art studies pala yung yung kinukuha mo, di ba? But it's about studies, no? Yun, no? So I let others add to that. Rica, what do you think?
Yeah, maybe one of my favorite misconceptions was that artists have this like sort of special artistry that comes from the ether, and then they sort of do it and magically produce these great creations. I think that's one of my favorite ones. Na it's without any effort, without any study, or without any training or practice. It just sort of happens. I think that's my favorite misconception. Yeah.
I agree. As an art studies student, lagi din akong tinatanong, so magaling ka mag-drawing kasi art studies ka. As parang, dapat may templated answer na ako dito. And what we got from the first set of sharing, no, it's there is an ecosystem. And with the existence of an ecosystem, there comes different avenues or roles that need to be fulfilled in order for this art world to actually function. And so maybe later we can also unpack those areas or niche in the ecosystem so people can find their place within this art world. And I also love that the notion of creativity, kasi matunog ngayon yung word na creativity. Maybe it's so elusive that people really feel like it's just, something that just comes down to an energy that possesses you to create. But actually, again, going back to what our artist, Alee, said, it is honed and it comes also from discipline, commitment, and professionalism. So that's the first set of some of the misconceptions that might cause some people to fear or doubt to take this path. And so maybe we can deepen the conversation into asking, so what are naman the truths? What are the reshaping or reprogramming that you'd like for our viewers to know about being in the arts or working in the art world?
Siguro, ewan ko kasi yung truth siguro as varied as the experiences, and also kung gaya nga ng sinabi ni Alain, iba-iba universal hat. Parang you find yourself coming into this community, this scene from different channels, katulad naming tatlo ngayon. So siguro isang gusto kong i-focus na real thing about sa art scene and being an artist. You don't have to go at it alone, and you don't make it alone. It's really the community and the dare I say friendships that you develop. Actually, kasi very totoo to sa mga artists na parang yung mga artists na hindi nagko-connect or hindi ma-attend ng openings ng iba or don't ngayon kasi may social media na, di ba? So, mas madali na itong socializing and reaching out. Parang wala ka na halos excuse to miss out on or try to put yourself out there and connect with other artists. Hindi totoo na it's just your pure genius or sobrang galing mo lang kaya ikaw magiging next big thing. Isa pa yon yung concept ng big thing.
Maraming layers.
Kung nasan ka ngayon and saan ka pwede malaking part dun is how you connect with other artists and also with other cultural workers. Yeah.
Yeah, I think to answer the question of what the truths are or what, what's real about the artwork, art world, I think artists or people will have to find that out for themselves. Ano yung totoo sa kanila, 'di ba? The reality is there are always good actors, bad actors, and complex actors in between. So yeah, I mean, it's up to you to find what your truths are there and what your, what you get from it. Knowing, and like what Alee said, a lot of maybe one of the most helpful thing for an artist is to get in the community and find like-minded people. Whether or not they're in the art community, find like-minded people in the sense na people that, have the same intentions, have the same aspirations. And that's how kind of how you find your own truth.
I like what they mentioned about first complexity nung pagiging practitioner or artist. I would say that being in the creative sector is the same as being with the other sectors. Kaya madami namang sector is each sector actually has separate problems. Diba? Separate problems that we address, separate needs, no? So disciplines exist because they're important. So art is important, diba? I also like when they mention about, let's say, network, or you connect with people because I love using the term ecosystem, no? Because it seems like, at least in my practice, no? My friends actually help me with a lot of things, no? And we help, diba? We help each other, no? Even before this. So yeah, the truth is, being in the creative sector is as complex as the other disciplines or iba-ibang trabaho. Kasi iba-iba naman yung kailangan eh. So, komplikado din siya. Porket art, diba? So, lahat may paghihirap. Diba? Good point from Rica and Alee.
Yes, I love it kasi a lot of our viewers are asking, paano yung hindi supportive yung family ko? Or how do I convince my skeptic tito and tita? And picking up from all of your responses, no, we can draw support from a different community. They may not be family, they may be friends, they may be artist friends or other barkadas, and highlighting that there is power within communities, especially in a digital age where we're all, online. We're all friends, but we cannot see you. I cannot interact with you at the moment, but here we are having this meaningful conversation, and that's also a way to form a support system in a different community. And so there is your artistic community present, and it's also nice to look into some of the practical questions, and then let's dive later into the mind-boggling, myth-busting conversations. Kasi meron mga listeners and viewers who are asking some practical questions from to our panelists. So, unang-una, kailangan daw ba fine arts para maging artist? What's your response to that?
No. And I mean,
dapat may mga sign din, yes or no. No.
Kasi, syempre, hindi talaga. Lagi nga sinasabi ni Papa, hindi nyo na kailangan tapusin degree mo. Hindi mo kailangan ng degree para maging artist eh. And also, here in Linangan, marami kaming mga artists dito na self-taught artists. Hindi talaga, marami. halos half-half. Yung iba nga wala talagang prior arts background talaga. So, yun. And then nakita naman namin sa mga na-produce silang works and also sa nade-develop kasi yun yung discipline and yung skill. So, hindi mo kailangan mag-fine arts kung gusto mo talaga yun. Well, it helps to network, syempre. Pero hindi siya required.
Yeah, I think some of the most interesting artists that I've met actually come from a different background. They come from a different background. They have different experiences. I think an artist's power or whatever, an artist becomes good through their uniqueness, not through how they fit in. It's this mold of the fine artist is outdated, and frankly it's not inspiring anymore. What's more inspiring is finding people that have come from different backgrounds, that have been trained in different things, and that sort of are able to create art. So I think for me, I think that's what resonates more.
Yes. Very good points. I'd like to add to that. Siguro magandang basagin yung pag-iisip na sa school lang tayo natututo. Diba? Na dapat nag-aral ka neto para maging artist ka. But I agree with both of them, Alee and Rica. Siguro sa students ko pa lang, no? So they're arts management majors. But I'll tell you, not all of them wants to manage art. Wants to manage a gallery, an exhibit. Some would actually enjoy social media marketing, promoting the arts, publicity, information campaigns. I also have students who are arts management majors but are practicing artists. So one actually recently won an award, online award, in a museum in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. So for me, it's how you channel your strengths, and I think I'd resonate with what Rica mentioned. Yung trajectory mo bilang tao, pwede mong gamitin yung background mo in your expression, as an artist or a creative individual.
But just as, not to discount the training and the skills that you learn in the fine arts or in an arts field. And like what Alee said, I think we can't also say that there's no sort of, privilege if you come from a fine arts background in terms of, you're in it na eh. You're already there in the center. But I think what's important is these are different paths that you can take. There's not just one path that you need to take. Yeah.
Right. Tsaka napakaraming artists then recently that I met. One is actually a doctor, an architect who ended up being artist for some reason. So I think that's just, let's say, a proof that we all come from different backgrounds, yeah.
I think those that take up fine arts or who were trained, I think there's more, there's more expectations from them. Wala silang excuse. Kumbaga, you have to know your stuff. And at the same time, with the internet, with YouTube, you can learn so many things online, and you can be trained and hone your skills online. But at the same time, because you do that, you need to know more, and you need to, kumbaga, you need to do your work. You need to read, research, and you need to, yun nga, wala kang excuse also nowadays, no? I mean, I've worked with some older people or the more senior people in the community, and at the time, wala pang art management, wala pang curatorship and all of that. So they had to learn on the fly, they had to learn on the job, and in a lot of ways, up to now, we're still doing that, especially in the Philippines, diba? So I think these are things that we need to think about, and yun nga, there's not no one way to do it.
Yes, it's nice to frame the conversation, no, that this words of wisdom is actually for those who may have yet to choose or were discouraged or feels like naiwanan na sila nung pagkakataon na mapili maging artist. But for those who are already here and studying fine arts and studied fine arts, congratulations, you guys. We encourage you to push forward for this art ecosystem for us to all work together. And so we actually have so many questions coming in. May mga mind-boggling questions din. So, ilipat-lipat natin practical and then mga ideals. And so, Charles Bautista, one of our viewers. Hello, Charles. Thank you for asking this question. What did you have to give up to pursue your art career? Medyo may sacrifice involved itong question ni Charles. So, how do we help him? How do we answer Charles?
Baka magkaiyakan tayo.
Oo nga
In the first is it really something? Is it a perspective? So let's question it na. Is it really a perspective that when pag pinili mo ang arts, may kapalit? Or para sa inyo ba, did it feel that way? Meron ba?
Sige, I'll start. I think if there's anything that you really want, any goal that you want to set, or anything that's worth anything will entail hardship and will entail sacrifice. And it's the same in any field, diba? Whether it's professional, whether it's personal, it's the same. So it's up to you to decide for yourself if it's worth it or not, or what you're willing to let go, or what you're not willing to let go, or what what is important to you, what your priorities are. So it's really how do you balance it for yourself na hindi mawawala yung sarili mo, hindi mawawala yung beliefs mo, but you're able to achieve your goal or something like that.
Naghihintay ako nung nung chika.
Saan?
Nasaan yun? Parang nandun pala medyo mas philosophical yung atake mo. Sa akin siguro, I'm privileged in that sense dahil malaki yung support na as discussed before. Pero siguro what I had to give up was yung idea mo ng control. Or yung idea mo ng where you should be at a certain point or what. Kasi, siguro to put in context, hindi lang sa pagiging artist. Kasi now I co-run an artist residency. So, mas cultural worker din yung role ko. So, I can totally relate to Alain and Rica dun sa yung stage, kumbaga yung backstage ng art production aside from having my own art career. Sa totoo, in that sense, in trying to balance both, I actually had to sacrifice some part of my own art career part. And not that contradictory sila, not at all. I find what I do here in Linangan as a very conducive to my own because it refreshes me kasi parang each time we have fresh batch of young artists coming from different contexts and they infuse our discussions, our perspective as to what art is, who can be an artist kasi marami sa kanila they are self-taught, they come from the province, they're just starting out from completely nothing. Alam mo yan? Parang actually na-inspire nila ako eh. Pero at the same time, in managing the things to be done, the programs, the paperworks, yung mga bureaucracies ng yon, and trying to raise funds for what we do. Syempre, it takes time. It takes a lot of time. As in, siguro yung ibang pumunta dito na artist friends din and some friends who talk. Sabi niya, wow, akala ko nagpipinta ka lang, pero yung pala, we do all these things just so we can give opportunities then and exposure to this young artist. So, yan. For me, yung sa career ko na nababawasan yung time for the art production to manage this artistic programs we run.
I super agree with both of them, no. And just to share, I see sacrifice here as, let's say, oras, panahon, or effort, but not necessarily something bigger than those, no. Siguro my take on that is we bank on informed decisions. I think nadaanan doon ni Rica and ni Alee, no, na kailangan alam natin yung ginagawa natin, pinapasok natin, no. I would sound like my counselor right now, but my take on that is please take it one day at a time. And we cannot actually change some things in a snap. So kasi kailangan nga informed decision. Alam mo kung ano yung hinaharap mo, no. Yeah, maybe how we see, baka redirection lang, not necessarily sakripisyo. But kung sakripisyo meaning oras, panahon, effort, yes, lahat ng trabaho meron ganyan. Diba? Lahat ng trabaho. Lahat talaga. So mag-agree tayo dyan lahat. Baka redirection. Yan, basta informed decisions on my end.
Pwede ba what I wish people would sacrifice?
Sige nga.
I wish people would sacrifice their egos.
Oh, yeah.
I think that's something we need a little less of.
True. Syempre bilang artist and also cultural worker, parang I get to deal with that a lot. And also, syempre puro artist yung kasama namin, di ba? So, kanya-kanyang works. And yeah, parang kung dati artist ka, isipin mo lang kung paano lalabas yung work mo. Ngayon, isipin mo rin kung how do you get all these people with the egos that come with their geniuses, kung ano man, to work together and actually work together harmoniously, if possible. Parang, yeah, malaking bagay. Malaking learning for me rin is how to be more humble. Humility is a big learning sa mga ginagawa namin.
I think maganda yung point nyo on prioritization, no? Madaming compromises sa kahit anong larangan, I would say. So, yun, no? Kailangan ready tayo sa compromise. And paano natin malalaman yun? Dapat alam natin yung priorities. Let's say, in a specific project, mas importante ba itong magawa or yung isa? Yun, informed decisions again.
Yeah, and are you compromising at the risk of someone else? Diba? Maybe that's something that we should think more about na who are we disenfranchising by doing these things or by not compromising, you know? And how does that affect the people around us? I think that's something that we should think more about. And yun nga, na parang unlearning, knowing that you don't know everything. I think that's super important also.
A lot of things for our viewers to think about even after this webinar. So I hope you guys are taking notes, some actionable points from what our panel recently mentioned. So first, find your community. Find your artistic community, find your support group within the industry and the ecosystem kung feeling mo nalolost ka o feeling mo kailangan mo ng support. And then next is look into our own art ecosystem. We'll talk about it more because we have a lot of questions about it. And then maybe within this ecosystem, you pin down your niche when you explore and look into the possibilities. And then napaka-importante, no, that we do informed decisions, and this comes from inside. Hindi siya nahuhulog from wherever at bigla na lang maglaland sa panaginip or something. It's a result of a lot of intrinsic reflection and making actionable decisions. So in the talk about ecosystem. So, kasi maraming ang tanong, fine arts, hindi nila alam, may art studies pala, may arts management pala, may art education pala. So, Florence Espinosa asked, any tips on how to stay updated on what is happening in the art ecosystem? And then maybe let's talk more about ano nga ba yung sinasabi nating art ecosystem that we all belong to, and most of our viewers either are part of it already, they don't know yet, or want to be a part of it?
Ako, support your own. Diba? You want people to go to your openings, you go to people's openings too. Diba? You want to learn more about the community, learn about art, then you ask questions. And you share also. So now with the internet, it's so easy to be updated. So, at the click of a button, you'll be able to know what's happening tonight, where's the opening tonight, how to get there, and all of that. And then even if you're not in the artistic centers, there's so many online avenues also that you can take to learn, to watch, to listen, get to know more about. And I think, I don't know if this is just a personal advocacy, but read art books, read books that, local artists produce, art institutions. There's so much that you'll get from magbasa ka lang. Dami mo nang matututunan. And then you're able to ask better questions, and then you're able to sort of make better connections, relationships. So I think that's my advice.
Yeah. Sa akin siguro, aside from, kasi wala masyadong openings ngayon na parang isang medyo handicap yun. Pero social media actually, ang lakas nung bagong community na binubuo kahit through Instagram or Facebook. And even kay Alain, for one, parang mas naka-encounter ko siya through an invitation online to talk. So, parang parang social media connection na yun. And, siguro yun, kung sa social media, mag-follow kayo ng mga, may encounter nyo mga artists, art institutions, like MAID, and syempre sa CP, and marami nga ngayong niche na communities, na nagfo-follow ng certain either artists or mga either comic books or mga Philippine lit. And parang nakikita ko medyo dun meron silang kanilang communities, and based dun sa interest, so follow your interest, and then make friends with people who share your artistic interests. And don't be shy to communicate dun sa mga, halimbawa sa amin, nagtatanong din yung mga tao directly via our social media handles. We answer naman, and some even apply as interns. So kung gusto nyo mas active talaga, you can do interns, or very flexible kasi yung community for me, based on my experience and how I actually have or work with other artists and cultural workers. Nadadaan siya sa usap, or just, magtatanong ka lang, pwede po ba to? Yeah, I guess a lot of things pwede. Oo. Try nyo lang.
I agree. Dapat siguro makialam. Maging in this sense, maging chismoso ka, chismosa. You keep talking to people. One way or another, you'll actually learn from these people, no? Kung ano man yung background niya, kung ano man yung inaral niya, saan man siya nagtatrabaho. Surely you'll learn from this person, no? Ganon ka-dynamic, ka-vast yung landscape or yung ecosystem ng art, no? Tinanong din tayo nila Lynn, paano natin i-describe yung ecosystem. Sa tingin ko, ginagamit siyang term para i-include lahat ng sektor, lahat ng bumubuo, lahat ng artists, organizations, lahat ng entities, communities of support, minention ni Alee, no? Na in one way or another nakaka-apekto dito sa art world na tinatawag natin, no? So siguro simply put, anyone who has an idea, creative idea, or who expresses creatively, creates things, I think I can use that. to describe it. Yeah, so maging chismosa. You follow art publications. You make friends, no? It costs nothing. You message them. Actually, when I was younger, I messaged people on LinkedIn, no? I established connections through social media. Malaking usapin din yung communities. Kasi ngayon, di ba, digital, online. Sa Facebook, napakaraming online groups, di ba? Yan yung mga artist groups na nagtutulungan, I would say, no, nakikita ko. Sa mga simpleng reference lang na paano mo to ginawa, then I saw someone shared something. Let's say a link, no? So, in a way, we nurture each other, no, I'd say. But of course, it's not a perfect world all the time. Yan nga. Kasi may mga egos, no, iba't ibang egos. May mga compromises, no, na dapat hindi natin kalimutan. So, yeah, komplikado, pero masaya naman, I would say.
Thank you for that. A lot of actionable points that our viewers can actually get from this conversation, no? First, I love it. Maging marites. Okay? Mangialam, makipag-usap. But at the end of the day, you have to participate and engage. And for that, we are thankful that we have you here to talk, and to our viewers who went here to join this conversation. You're already one step in to participating and co-creating in this art world or art ecosystem that we talked about. And just to give a little background dun sa mga nagwa-wonder, ano ba yung art ecosystem, no? There are a lot of sectors within the art system. We have the artists, we have kanina pa rin natin nababanggit, cultural workers, those who work in the background, who make things happen. So, yung mga nagsasabit during the exhibition, na-attendan ng mga artists and the art collectors. And of course, you have the art educators who train not just the producers or the artists, but also art managers. And so, there are a lot of avenues to work with other people and other industries. So, you'll be surprised, marami ring nabanggit kanina na, so kung hindi ka mag-fine arts, there can be a lot of other contributions that being in other fields will help you in your art career. So it is possible. We have a lot of questions again, and I'll just summarize the many questions about it into one, no? How do you answer if you're an artist or a practitioner in the art industry? How do you answer those questions na hindi ka mapapakain ng passion mo or i-discourage ka? They want an answer. So, they want a payo kung ano daw ang isasagot dun sa mga hindi supportive, mga basher, mga you know, hindi part of the support system, or maybe let's help them reframe this train of thought, or even for the artist, para hindi sila mawala ng loob tuwing may nagtatanong, ano ba yung right frame of mind that people who are thinking of choosing this path should take?
Ako, because my family, my background, they're not artists also, at least not in the last 2 generations. My advice on how to sort of bring them in and show them what you're doing is to invite them to your shows, invite them into, you know, show them what you're working on. Oh, this is what I'm working on, this is what it's about, this is, you know, I'm struggling with this. Invite them, bring them in. You know, shutting them out, or maybe my initial answer was, do they deserve a response, an answer? But I thought about it more, and I said, okay, let's not be like that. We need to bring people in. Gone are the times na, you know, trip ko to, bahala kayo. Now, I think it's really more of, this is what I'm interested in, this is why I'm interested in it. Come, join me, see, you know, what it's like, meet these people that I work with, that my fellow artists, my whatever, barkada. And that's how you'll change minds, or that's how you'll change perceptions.
Yeah, I agree with Rica, no? Sa tingin ko, nag-stem yan doon na hindi kompleto siguro yung idea ng ibang tao sa art, no? Gusto ko ring tignan yung Yun nga, no, rather than maging intimidating ka pa, isarado mo pa yung mga pintuan, bintana mo, invite mo na lang, di ba? In a way, at least you're helping them. You're helping them understand a new thing, for example, or something new. And then you encourage more support for the ecosystem. So I think that works both ways.
Mhm. Actually, medyo in my experience, baliktad nga eh. Yung mga tumuloy dito, sila yung siguro to cite a very concrete story. Halimbawa, isa sa student resident artist, si Roger Mont, he left his job na as graphic artist or ano. Tapos ngayon, sunod-sunod na yung exhibit niya eh. Parang medyo na-establish niya na rin yung sarili niya eh. Kasi yun talaga yung gusto niya. Tapos, when you really do what you want, lalabas dun yung energy mo eh. I really believe na if you're doing what you love, parang you attract that same kind of energy na parang it can only pay back kahit not maybe not financially at the onset, pero it will eh. Kasi ikaw yun eh. Parang, ano bang gusto lang ba natin? Nakakakain lang tayo. I mean, syempre, gusto natin nakakain. Pero, when you say career or a future for you, gusto mo ba ng future na parang you just, ang concern mo lang is yung sweldo mo or yung pera lang? Di ba, I think, masyadong tali yung career sa kung sino ka. I mean, is it me? Is what I'm doing myself? Yun kasi yung siguro nabibigay na affirmation ng arte, hindi lang siya about kumikita ba ako, hindi. Pero ako parang napaka-affirmative niya dahil it's me. It's always what I uniquely put out for everyone that only I can produce or do. So parang ganun siya eh. Yun, parang it pays in so many ways than just financially. Pero in very practical terms, sasabihin ko lang, ang layo nung kinikita nung ni Roger na yon sa career niya ngayon as opposed to dun sa kanyang 9 to 5 job before na iniwan niya to go full time. So isa lang siya. And I mean sa trend sa mga naging resident artist namin na mas hindi sila nawalan ng exhibit after halos just to have an idea as to how robust for now at least yung and more diverse yung opportunities. I mean yung dami pa lang ng galleries, mas marami ngayon sa like 10 years back or so parang sa younger artists sa totoo mas naghahanap yung mga galleries usually ng younger. Parang tatanungin din kami, may kilala ba kayong sino bang mga bagong artist na kilala nyo? Kasi they're always looking out for new artists ngayon. So yeah, I think hindi siya usapin ng lack of opportunities if ako yung tatanungin na available for those who want to be part of this community, this scene.
Tsaka, add ko lang, no, maganda siguro i-point out na yung tayo bilang tao, hindi naman limited doon sa trabaho. Minention to ni Alee and indirectly ni Rica, I think. Huwag natin gagawing personality yung trabaho. No? Napaka-complex natin na sa person. May iba't iba pa tayong kailangan, may iba't iba pa tayong gawin. Yun, hindi katapusan yun, no, yung trabaho mo. Ikaw bilang tao, madami pang pwedeng gawin, pwedeng yun. Yun, so.
I just want to pahabol for the question. Baka maganda rin isipin, pag tinatanong ka niyan, are you also showing that you're being responsible? Are you also showing that you're, getting your act together or that you're serious about it? Sometimes these questions come from areas, just out of concern, diba? Concerned sila. Concerned yung family mo. So, kailangan mo rin ipakita na you're serious, you're working hard, you're taking the steps that you need to take, and that you're, this is not some bulakbol lang. Diba?
True. I mean, gusto ko lang i-cite yan na parang meron kasing nag-mentor sa amin na she does arts consulting. Ang tanong niya kasi is, in order to level up as an artist, what are you actually willing to put out there, to give up, to invest sa sarili mong career, sa sarili mong decision? Parang, as siguro connected sa question kanina ni Charles na, what are you willing to sacrifice? Parang, pero reverse, what are you willing to give? So, parang kung siguro kung 100% or anong percent ng sarili mo, yung binibigay mo dun sa pinili mong, yun nga, career. Hindi yung, kasi parang sinasabi nga ni Papa, art is a jealous muse. Sobrang, meron din siya dating day job. And then, kahit na uncertain pa yung future with parang buntis si mama, baby pa lang ako and everything, nag-full-time artist siya. Wala naman mag-guarantee talaga na, pag nag-artist, parang hindi niya hinintay yung parang merong green light na, okay, safe na ako financially or what, kaya mag-artist na ako. Hindi, pinili niya yon. I mean, nag-all-in siya. Siguro yun. Parang katulad din kay Roger, nag-all-in sila. So, that's what they're willing to give up, yung other distractions, kumbaga. Pipiliin ko talaga to. Opo.
But like in any other field, diba? Some people make it, some people don't. And we have to be aware of that. We can't, close our eyes to reality. What's your situation? You also need to know what's your situation. Do you have a family that you need to support? Maybe you should have a day job alongside your art. It's really up to you to decide ano yung kaya mo, ano yung kailangan, ano yung kaya mo.
Very good point, no? Ibabalik ko yan doon kanina, yung informed decisions. Kasi kailangan realistic kailangan nakabase siya doon sa now mo. Diba, anong sitwasyon mo ngayon? Kasi baka mamaya gagawa ka ng desisyon na would have an adverse effect on you eventually. So, yeah.
Thank you for that. Napakainit ng conversations as well as our comment section, you guys. Siguro what we can also contribute here is we talked about, kailangan ba maging fine arts or what are the competencies or character that you need to be able to pursue this career? What is the ecosystem? And one of the things na kung sakali man na may mga detractors or bashers tayo, but we also have a support system, the communities and infrastructures within the ecosystem, within the government also, such as CCP and MAID and other entities that we will talk about more later, that will help and give a platform for young artists. That's why we're having this conversation. Also, later, we will specifically look into the avenues of opportunities that this conversation can offer. Ano bang meron other than looking for a gallery, other than creating your portfolio? Meron pa ring ibang mga parts of the ecosystem such as MAID and Linangan and CCP and CSB who offer a different path or alternative. And talking about path and alternatives and careers into the art ecosystem. Ito na tayo. Gemina Cabidog Dagidoy asked, paano po masasabi na naging successful ka na as an artist? And maybe what would be more beneficial to also talk about is how do we even define or i-question natin yung word na success. Success and the how to. So magandang pag-usapan in the sense of myth busting, or talking about the deeper conversations that we need to have in this ecosystem. So success and the how to. Any brave soul?
Ali, please.
Ganda. Yun actually, medyo na-touch on natin to when we were talking just amongst ourselves. Success, siguro sa more practical and also on an artistic note, sa akin ang success is actually having that hindi naman siya luxury, that malinaw na relationship with your art process. Your art, yung mismo art mo, yung paggawa mo. Kasi hindi siya about kung nasan ka lang ngayon eh. It's about that ongoing relationship. The kung gaano kalinaw at kabuo ka doon sa commitment na yon. Sobrang success sa akin yun. Kasi hindi lang siya about kung bumibenta ka for these shows ngayon or kung magkano yung painting mo. Syempre, nakakatulong yun sa kabuhayan mo. Okay yun. Pero parang ako as an artist, ang mas mahalaga is yung growth nung yung relationship ko dun sa actual art ko, kung bakit ko siya ginagawa, kung gaano kagagap yung paggawa ko sa kanya. And actually, ang word ko ngayon na gusto kong mas ma-apply sa paggawa ko is yung ease, yung flow sa pag-create. Yun yung, for me, to continuously create with that flow is a kind of success, which yun yung mas mahalagang kind of success for me now. And of course, with that, to actually do that, there's a level of syempre, parang financial stability then involved to actually do that, to focus on yung flow mo as a process. So siguro yung having enough financial stability to keep on focusing on the growth of your creative process, yun. And siguro on a complementary note to that idea of success is to be instrumental in actualizing the same kind of opportunity for other artists as well. Para sa akin, success ko yun kung kaya kong ma-share yung ganitong klaseng luxury for other artists to focus on their creativity. So, ibig sabihin kung makakagawa ka ng mga paraan na hindi lang ikaw yung nakagawa ng uninhibitedly with the financial concerns, practical concerns. So, that's what we are trying now. Yeah.
For me, Rica.
Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. For me, I can't define success, for example, if I'm not happy, if I'm not satisfied. I like that Alee mentioned about growth, and development. And of course, let's be real, we need financial stability. But my point here is that as a creative practitioner, you have the right to define your own success. Again, informed decision, realistic lang. Ano ba yung gusto mong maabot para masabing successful ka na? Gusto mo ba nakapag-exhibit ka na dito? Naka-show mo na si ganitong artist, no? It all depends on you, no? Your priority, again, no? Which was mentioned earlier. Depende sa'yo ano na yung enough. Okay? We all have different ideas, concepts of what's successful for us, no? And we all have different trajectories. Let's say I know artists who prioritize selling only, no? I know artists who prioritize other things, let's say engaging in more people, participating in a residency, which I respect both, no? Because it's what's success for them. I hope it resonates to the one who asked na you define your own success.
I totally agree. I can't answer it for you. We can't answer it for you. You have to answer it for yourself. And then you can ask us. If you have an answer na, then you can ask us how we can help you to get there. But for me, I find I'm kind of allergic to the word success. But what makes me happy is when I get sincere feedback after a project. And someone tells me na, this, I like this because, or this resonated with me because, or, I didn't know art could be like that. I think that's, it's very fulfilling. And also when I see the people around me, that they are also happy with what we produced, what we did, that's really, that's the goal na masaya kayo lahat and you're all happy and you're all proud of what you did. and you're all, have a sense of, ownership over the project. And also, like what Alain mentioned, na it's yung sustainability kasi sa art, it will only happen if it's sustainable for everyone. So I think it's important to add into your formula for success how you can help other people in the community to achieve their definition of success. One of my, one of the senior artists, I remember him saying na the collective is always harder to fund and to sustain than the individual. So we should always think about that. Yes, you're successful, but the world is falling apart around you. Paano yun? Diba? The world is on fire outside your door. That fire's gonna reach you. So how do you, maybe that's something that we should think about more also.
Exactly.
Yeah, going back to
I love that.
What matters.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, going back to what matters, no? Maybe also the conversation about success can be reframed into an invitation to actually for our viewers to imagine and to define what success really means for them. So kung tinatanong niya kung ano nga ba ang definition ng success, then let's empower them na you can actually define it based on different terms, what makes you happy, what makes you fulfilled, what can put food on your table at the moment and at the same time helps you sleep better at night. And maybe these are the questions na kailangan muna nilang masagot also before we go to the how-tos. And it would be nice to also look into some of the comments in the comment section that we received, and we would like to make a shout out to Sir Ricky Francisco's listening this afternoon. Maganda kasi yung usapan about the art ecosystem. When we actually posted about this event, we were thinking na a lot of people who also shared this poster, our event, and thank you very much everyone. Mas malawak pa actually beyond the visual art practice yung art ecosystem. And in what we do also, in what you do, I'm so sure, we interact with several members of the creative industry or the creative system. Katulad nga ng sinabi ni Sir Ricky, no, let me quote, maraming career at businesses na pwedeng pasukin sa pag-support sa art. So he mentioned framing, even transporting and shipping. We interact with them, people in the background who make things happen, writers, critics, installer. It's a very specified skill. Art supply store, gallery, seller, agent, manager, graphic designer, even music industry. Kasama yan lagi sa pagpasok mo ng gallery, di ba? It's creating ambiance. For musicians, photographers, conservators, educators, and museum workers. And a combination of many of the creative practitioners that we have. Ang maganda sa cultural field, maraming passionate na tao na mahal nila ang ginagawa nila. So congratulations out to May. Thank you, sir, and to our speakers for dispelling the myth. So thank you for tuning in, Sir Ricky, and it's nice to let our viewers, our watchers know how large. We wish we could enjoin everyone to join in the conversation. Siguro ang dami nating panel pag sinama natin lahat, even the graphic designers, into this conversation to unpack a lot of this. So last two questions, pero ito yung pinakamabigat na question na Miss Universe question na tatanungin natin sa ating panel. So, once and for all, let us give them an answer. Wala nga bang future sa arts? What can you respond or what can you say to our viewers about this question?
Sinagot na namin.
Kaya nga ng sinabi ni Kuya Ricky. Ang dami. Ang dami. Yeah. Wala talaga. Actually, siguro ang limit lang is yung imagination and also yung willingness ng would-be participant to actually find their own niche in this very diverse and growing actually na field. Maraming futures sa arts. Oo. Yeah. Anong
I think the future of art will depend on you, on everyone watching, and on how we're able to work together and support each other. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe my future pa ba sa planet? I mean, we're living such a crazy time. So maybe it's time to start thinking about not just my future ba sa art, but my future ba tayo together,
together?
Diba? So, yun, yeah. Depends on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, depends on you pa rin. Sobrang dami, sinagot na nga namin. Siguro magandang i-highlight, tignan natin yung mga tao sa art world, no? Na lahat may pakinabang because lahat may specific na gawain na may gampanin, no? Kung tama yung word ko. Lahat kami may responsibilidad, lahat tayo, no? And even, as they mentioned earlier, kahit na mismong pagsuporta, isa yung gampanin para masustain, matulungan yung isa't isa.
Malaking
art ecosystem. Napakalaki, no? Hindi lang barangay. Mas malaki pa.
Oo. Siguro yun yan, sinabi na ni Kuya Ricky yung mga iba-ibang mga aspects na supportive dun sa ecosystem na yon. Pero parang at the same time, nabanggit din kanina ni Alain yung universal hat na sinusuot ng mga artists. Siguro it's time you look into what you love doing and then what you're actually good at, what you're actually good at, and don't be shy, try it kasi parang meron naman the fact na tinatanong mo kung meron in it for you, ibig sabihin meron sa'yo, di ba? Tapos siguro now's the time na gamitin mo siya kasi kaya sabi nga ni Rica parang the world's falling apart. Parang ito yung time na we're being asked to give what we can offer, kasi nga wala na mawawala kasi parang ang mawawala lang is ikaw kung hindi ka sumali dun sa paggawa nga nito, kasi nga otherwise walang future kung hindi ikaw mismo gagawa ng future na yun.
And I think it's also maybe it's time to stop depending on old models, and maybe it's time to start thinking about new models, new ways of doing things, and maybe that's how we can sort of make that future. Miss Universe question daw edi how to make that future better.
Yeah, sobrang agree ako din sa making new models, kasi yan din yung ginagawa namin kasi parang wala na talagang to expect the old models to work. Nakita naman natin sa COVID pa lang kung paano, parang doon makikita na nasa forefront yung artist sa response, like the community pantries, the mga initiatives, fundraising na parang makikita mo na yung artists, yung mga creatives, nasa forefront sila doon sa problem solving, di ba? Kasi parang sanay tayo to not work with what's already given. Sanay tayo mag-work to create new givens, di ba? So, ayan. So, yun yung ibig sabihin namin on a more concrete term na you create futures, kasi nga wala naman tong mga sitwasyon and yung technology platforms natin na we're using now in like last mga 5 years, 10 years. Pero meron na siya ngayon. So, with the new platforms, technologies, and systems, new opportunities din, and also new responsibilities din. Siguro, okay din na tingnan na laging may responsibility sa bawat opportunity. Yun siguro yun. Kasi, I think pares kami ni Rica and ni Alain. Si Rica talking about the accountability to others, a shared future, and Alain talks about the ecosystem ang common sa amin is we always see that hindi tayo isolated in whatever we're doing, in wherever we're coming from. Lagi tayong may context at merong kasamahan. Yun.
Very good point. Yes, kailangan we must put an end to these toxic cultures, toxic thinking, toxic models, no, to pave way for new ones, because what's needed now may be different from what it was before, no. So kailangan proactive naman tayo. Kailangan informed decisions, no. Ano yung now? What do we need to solve now?
So our answer, diretsong sagot, it's a resounding may future sa arts. And let's add to this conversation that we can create the future that we want together as a community, as an art ecosystem. Some of the notes and how-tos that I was able to take in for our viewers, no? So first, the how-to. Paano ba ito? Paano nga ba? First is to show up. For each and everyone to show up, to participate, to be a marites, we had a speaker who said, follow one artist today, and that's participation already. Support, show up, go to exhibitions, network, that's step one already. Second is find your community, your supportive artistic community. May it be at the home, outside of the home, wherever else, in the internet, in Instagram, there will be avenues and structures of support. And we also have programs and institutions such as MAID, such as CCP, Linangan, and CSB here to offer additionals or structural support for the artistic community. And third is to make conscious choices. So kailangan may rational thinking din naman in the decision making that we are all faced with, because there would be real life consequences and real life gains, passionate gains to engaging. And lastly, what I love about this conversation is also we invite them, our speakers invite you guys to define your meaning of success. So with that, you use your creativity to actually ask yourself, ano bang success for me? And then let's go to the how-to. Speaking of the how-to, there are different platforms and support system within the ecosystem that we would like to share with you, all of our 200 plus viewers this afternoon. So we invite our speakers and panelists to share the platforms, events, opportunities that is available coming from your own institutions. Siguro simulan natin sa mga artist residents, mga nagngangarap na makiparticipate sa Linangan Art Residency.
Yeah, may open call kami ongoing sa Linangan Art Residency. It's an alternative art school based in Alfonso, Cavite, where we teach them some skills as well as focus on develop their own art careers, our ideas, and as well as fostering a spirit of community leadership sa mga resident artists namin dito sa Linangan. Ayan. Tsaka healthy dito. Ayan, mag-exercise kayo. Maglilinis kayo ng river. Dito in-emphasize namin yung parang actually getting artists to take, to makialam sila sa mundo nila, to take part sa paglilinis ng paligid nila, and yun nga, holistic growth. So, ayan. So, ang aming application is open until February 20. So, you can check out our Instagram, Linangan Art Residency, as well as Facebook, Linangan Art Residency, for more details.
Thank you so much, Alee. So we go from Cavite to Pasay. Let's go to CCP, Rica. What's up and what can we offer young artists or even practicing artists, anybody who would like to participate in this culture and creative industry?
Yes, so we have exhibition venue grants every year. So we encourage artists to send in proposals. We really love hearing from new people and meeting new people, and so please don't be scared. Please, if you have questions, if you're not sure what you should put in your proposal, please ask us lang. And then we also have all sorts of other projects and exhibits that go on sometimes at the same time. So please check out our website, the CCP's website, culturalcenter.gov.ph. And also for the CCP Visual Arts and Museum Division, we have our social media pages on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, ccp.vamd. And I also want to encourage everyone to look at other avenues also. Visit even those that aren't very familiar to you, like maybe other museums, maybe artist-run spaces, maybe other grant-giving bodies. There's so many out there. If you just have to look, and at a click of a button nga, you'll be able to find it. And I also encourage everyone not just to look for other opportunities, but for other ways to help yourself. Try other art forms, try other mediums, try learning on your own, and try how to help yourself. And don't forget that we're very open to people who have questions or people who are asking for advice and stuff like that. We'd be happy to share what we know and what our experiences are. So don't be shy. Yeah. Oh, and sorry, my plugging is Feb 25. We're launching 21 a.m. It's a new online platform that we have in the CCP Visual Arts and Museum Division. So I hope to see you all there. That's Feb 25 at 3 p.m. at the CCP Facebook VAMD Facebook page. So I hope to see you all there. And then I hope to see you all at the 13 Artist Awards to be announced next month.
If you're a senior high school student and you want to explore opportunities in the arts ecosystem, Benilde as a school offers a lot of programs. Some programs you might not even think it exists, but it does. It's part of the ecosystem. Okay, you can look through our website, benilde.edu.ph. On my end, as the program chairperson of arts management, this is for everyone, even not students. We normally mount seminars, workshops, and other online programs, even on site when things go back to what was normal, to discuss issues, perspectives, concerns, conversations about art, culture, creativity, and of course, society. You can check us out. You can just search on Facebook, Benilde Arts and Culture Cluster. We're also on Instagram with the same name, and also Benilde Arts Management. So yeah, if you're looking for a school, Benilde offers a lot. And in the arts management program, faculty are actually industry practitioners. The approach is super hands-on. We give students big projects to work on. And lastly, this may be too early, but last year, Benilde Arts Management actually initiated 2021 Arts Management Undergraduate Conference. And we're doing it biannually. So please watch out. In 2023, we'll have the second iteration. Hopefully in partnership again with Ateneo, UP Manila, and Association of Arts Administration educators from the US. Yon, thank you.
So that's a rundown also of the schools offering not just fine arts, but a wide array of arts management in art studies and Philippine art courses, Benilde, Ateneo, and UP. You may check them out if you're a senior high student wanting to take up a course in the arts. So plug ko na rin, syempre, we're all here because MAID is also offering you an opportunity to participate and be part of the arts ecosystem as practitioners. And we also do have art grants for art organizations who have specific projects for social development. And so we have a lot of opportunities available. You just have to emerge, sabi nga ng team namin for this year, emerge and participate. And so, again, we would like to thank all our panelists, Alain, Rica, and Alee, for joining us this afternoon. We hope our viewers were able to be inspired to emerge and actually get to do your own how-tos already after this conversation. And so, please stay tuned because later we will again play some of the AVPs from all of the programs that we discussed. If you weren't able to catch any of the details from Linangan, from CCP, and from Benil, you can get to see it after this conversation through the audiovisual presentation. So, muli, before we say goodbye, we would like to thank our speakers for staying here, spending this afternoon with us, sharing your thoughts and experiences about creating our future for the arts. So, you want to say goodbye and thank you to our listeners before we announce the winners?
Oh, may winner nga pala sa mga.
Winner.
Ay, hindi ako sumali.
May winner. Oh.
Thank you so much to Maid and to Lalaine and to the whole team behind the scenes. It was such it's such a pleasure to work with you guys all the time. And thank you for this opportunity to share.
Yes. Maganda yung topic. Thank you for having us. And masalamat dahil nakausap ko rin si Alain and si Rica. And yeah, and affirm up our decisions to be part of this art field, art community. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. Metrobank Foundation team. There are a lot of people behind this project. I salute all of them. Thank you, Alee and Rica. Such an engaging conversation. I hope we continue this, diba, with Alain, and many other projects.
Yes. Hope to see you all in person soon.
Oo nga eh.
Tama. Punta kayo lahat dito.
Let's emerge. So thank you, everyone. Thank you once again to those who sent in their questions and comments. As promised, we are happy to share the MAID gift boxes to the following attendees: Charles Bautista, Florence Espinoza, and Gemina Caligoy. Congratulations. Also, earlier this week, we invited you guys to play an artist bingo with us. So congratulations to our bingo winners, Pauline Albino, Rian Magat, and Jeric Hernandez. You guys will win your very own bio art mask exclusively featuring some of the MAID awardees last year. And that's it for this month's Art Made Public. We hope today's discussion helped boost your confidence to be an artist and to be the artist that you want to be. Misconceptions and stereotypes can be corrected or can be busted as long as that we're willing to have this kind of conversation. Always remember that the future is yours to build. Let's continue this kwentuhan online. Like and follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Metrobank Art and Design for updates about the MAID competition and more about the MAID program. Remember, deadline of entries is on March 31. Visit the maidartdepot.ph to learn more. Tune in again next month for another installment of Art Made Public. Next month, we will be talking about the trailblazing creatives and how of the many firsts that had happened and the many firsts that they will never forget in their artistic journey. Until then, keep safe at marami pong salamat.
Arts management is a combination of business and art in that we are taught managerial skills for creative industries. I majored in animation before I shifted to arts management. And although I really loved anime and cartoons, I also grew up watching musicals, plays, and enjoyed going to museums when I had the chance. When I learned about the history of animation and production, I started to develop an interest in the management side of the animation industry. So I did a little research on STA's programs and knew that arts management was what I wanted. I'm interested in talent and production management for music, TV, and film, but my ultimate dream is to eventually become a producer for Filipino animated feature-length films. The first project I worked on was a dance thesis called Unboxed, where I was assistant production manager, and it was the first time I felt like I could apply what I learned in class. I have also put together an arts management student organization called Benilde Arts Management, or BEAM. I feel like my work-life balance is a constant trial and error process, but that's what real life is like. I've done internship work for Bella's Artist Projects, the Nonsuch, and Art Fair Philippines. In Benilde, I mostly work on theater productions, handling, marketing, and sales. I also volunteer for MCAD and Create Philippines. I believe our learning experience here in Benilde contributes to honing our skills, talent, and creativity, and we are given the opportunity to apply arts management theories in real life.
Linangan Art Residency is an alternative art school aimed at equipping promising young artists to be active agents in developing and defining Philippine art and culture through the Amuyang Mentorship Program and the Punan Artist Residency. Want to be a part of this? Support our program. Send us a message on Instagram, Facebook, or email linanganartresidency@gmail.com for more details.